This just came to my front door. It's the brand new Jaclyn Hill Morphe Vault Collection. I didn't even get to play with the last one, so I want to know, are they different? What did they do to the formula? I want to compare these two, play with it, and see if they actually changed and see the difference. Let's go and let's play with it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl AmandaEnsing, and today we're gonna dive in to the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection. If you're not caught up, this collection originally was supposed to launch on June 26th, and then they ran into a few issues, so now it's being pushed back until August 14th, so it's getting ready to relaunch. I'm gonna go into all of that in a second, but the collection comes with 4 different palettes. You can buy them all in a bundle for $49 or buy them separately for $15. If you buy the entire collection, you will save $11. When I first heard about the collection, I was super hyped, really excited to try it and film with it, and then social media just blew up. So once all of the PR packages started coming in, I got my package and I wasn't able to open it because I was traveling and doing a bunch of other things. So because of that, I didn't get to actually play with my collection. But before you know it, the internet was blowing up with formula issues. Reviews started to go up and a lot of them weren't that great. A lot of people were saying that their formula was patchy, it was inconsistent, it was hard to work with. I know Jaclyn mentioned in her review of everything that some of them didn't swatch well, but they would apply well, but they found out there were some inconsistencies in the formula, and because of that they decided to not launch the collection. I believe they had a few on sale at a little Vegas meet and greet, but I know that they're getting new palettes if you bought one, so that was really awesome. But they decided not to go on sale, which I think is amazing, because imagine if they would have sold all of those palettes and either they were all bad or a lot of them were bad. That would have been a complete mess. So it was good the reviews started to go up early, because that way they found out that a lot of the palettes weren't the formula they were supposed to be. So because of all the negative feedback that Morphe and Jaclyn were getting from the reviews of the palette, people who were getting the palettes and they just weren't what they thought it was gonna be, they put up a little message on their pages. I'm gonna put it on the screen for you guys. The message just talks about how their standards weren't met and these weren't the highest quality that they could produce, and there were inconsistencies in production. So because of that, they were pushing back the official launch. Now, I personally thought the launch was going to be like months from now, because it takes a long time to get formulas and new products in, but it's launching in like 2-3 weeks. It's launching August 14th, so they did that really fast. So I'm really interested to try everything, swatch everything, and see how well the new collection performs. One thing that I really respect out of this whole situation is that Morphe and Jaclyn both spoke up about it right away. A lot of brands maybe wouldn't say anything and just put out the product, sell the product, and then see if people catch it, or say, you know, whatever, who cares, but they owned up to it and they talked about it and they want to make it right. So I really respect that in a brand, and even Jaclyn as a YouTuber, I think that it's amazing they could talk about it and be like, hey, the formula wasn't perfect. I'm glad we found out before it was too late. Especially with inconsistencies in a formula, Jaclyn's palettes could have been amazing. All of her samples could have been amazing, and then whenever it was produced, a lot of them weren't the same quality. So I'm really glad that they caught it. So today I opened the mail and my new Vault collection came in. So I wanted to film a video comparing the new collection to the old collection. Now, I don't know if my old collection is a good formula or a patchy formula. We're gonna find out everything today. This is going to be brand new, first impression for me, first impression for you guys. This is the original Vault collection, and I put little black dots on the back of the palettes just in case I get them mixed up, so I'll know which one is which, because the new one is the exact same color, the exact same packaging. The only difference is the formula. So whatever formulas that were patchy or inconsistent should be all fixed now. So today I'm gonna be comparing the new collection to the old collection. I'm gonna be swatching all of them. I'm gonna be trying them both on my eyes. We're gonna see, is there a difference? How is the formula? Is it good? That's what we're gonna dive into today. This is the entire Vault collection. On the back, there's a picture of Jaclyn. I really like this picture. I think she looks so beautiful here. There's also a little message on the back to her subscribers or anyone who buys the collection. So in her original Jaclyn Hill palette, there are 35 different shades, and she said that it was really hard for her to pick only 35. So this is like her palette had babies, as she says. So these are supposed to be an extension of her favorites palette. As I mentioned earlier, the palettes retail for $15 each, which I don't think is a bad price point, or you can buy all of them for $49, which saves you $11 versus buying them individually. There are a lot of shades. Each palette has 10 different shades, so that's 40 per collection. That's 80 different shades that I'm about to swatch right now. So I'm gonna swatch them on my hand and compare the old versus the new. Now, like I told you, I'm gonna show you right now, I have not touched any of these palettes. These are the old ones, so I'm gonna show you. This is the Bling Boss palette. It's a purple tone. The next we have Dark Magic, which is this palette. And this is the original collection. Next we have Armed and Gorgeous, which looks like that. And then the last one we have is Ring the Alarm, which is the reddish orange palette, like this. Let's go ahead and start with the swatches. So this is the reformulated Ring the Alarm palette. Honestly, they swatched a lot better. I didn't know if I would be able to feel a difference upon first swatching the newer ones, but the mattes glided a lot better. And in this palette, the most pigmented matte was Alert, which is the second to last orange shade. That one honestly swatched better than any of the other mattes. The foils swatched about the same, but I could definitely feel a difference in swatching the mattes. The only ones that were a little bit patchy to swatch were Siren and Framed, which are the browns with like a burgundy undertone. In the old formula, there was definitely a lot of inconsistency. The first 4 shades especially, I feel like didn't swatch as pigmented. The Sparks, I swatched 3 times and it was kind of patchy. Same with the Hush Hush, which is the taupey color, just wasn't really showing up. And the shimmer shades weren't as pigmented as I thought they were gonna be. The most pigmented shimmery shade was Pizzazz, which is the shimmery red. And then the last color, Buried Treasure, was super pigmented. So I feel like those two were the most pigmented and creamy in the palette. And then the other colors weren't as creamy and pigmented. I'm dipping my finger into this first color and it's just crumbling. And some of the other foils did that too, but not as bad as this one. Like this is literally just a crumble on my finger right now. This is the older one. It's pigmented, but it went everywhere. So as you can see, like on this shade, it's still crumbling, but not as bad as the first color. I'm getting as much product as I can on my hand because I want to give both palettes a fair shot. I'm gonna do a second layer of the green, but it is pretty chalky. Out of the foils, Classified and Coin definitely swatched the best. I wasn't incredibly impressed with the mattes. I would say out of them, definitely Agent and Secure swatched the best. All right, so let's take the new collection. Okay, so far VIP is not swatching like it did, and I'm pushing pretty hard. There's a little bit of crumble, but not like the old palette. I'm really nervous to swatch the green. Okay, way better. Still a little bit patchy. Let me add a little bit more like I did on the other swatch. Way better, way better. I mean, they just feel smoother and creamier. The mattes feel so much better in this palette. The mattes in the new palette swatched way better. VIP still was a little bit crumbly, which is the first shade, but not as much. Also, I noticed Guilt Trip didn't swatch as vibrant as I liked, but Coin was so pretty. Coin and Classified are stunning, like so beautiful, and the mattes were way better. Out of the palette, I would say the two that didn't perform the best was VIP and Guilt Trip. They were better than the last palette, but still not as good as the other foils, but besides that, everything else swatched a lot nicer. Overall, the old palette wasn't too bad. Some of the shades didn't swatch that great, like the taupe shade, the first shimmer shade, but besides that, they weren't that bad as far as the formula. The more pigment you add, the harder it can be to formulate the matte, so with the blues and the greens, and to be a harder formula to create, I don't think they swatched too bad. So now we're gonna play with them on the eyes. I'm gonna start by using the older collection, and I'm gonna do the same look on both eyes, just the old versus the new. I love a warm, bronzy, smoky eye. I know Jaclyn does as well, and I feel like she would have worked the hardest on those formulas. Out of everything, I feel like she probably paid special attention to the warmer shades, so I'm going to do that on my eyes today. I'm gonna use the original collection on my left eye. So I'm gonna start with the color Agent, which is this color right here, and that's gonna be my transition shade. And I'm just gonna blend this back and forth in the crease. So I'm gonna clean my brush really quick so we can do the other eye with the new palette. So now I'm going in with the new formula on this eye. Honestly, I don't notice much of a difference with this shade on both eyes. I think they look the same. This one blended out pretty easily, and so did the newer one. Keep in mind as you watch this that I don't feel like every shade in the original collection was faulty or patchy or not the best formula. I just think that some of the shades had an inconsistency and that some of them weren't the best, so they reformulated it. But as far as this shade, I feel like they both applied the same. Going back to the original, I'm gonna take this brown shade right here and we're gonna add that in the crease for our crease color. I'm gonna add some of the darker brown in the palette. I'm gonna go back to my fluffy brush to blend out the edges. All right, I'm gonna clean my brush. All right, going in with the new formula. I feel like with the newer one, there's less kickback, which means I have to dip into the palette more. Like with the older one, I feel like when I put it on the eye, it's a lot of color, which can make it harder to blend out with the matte colors anyways. But with this, I feel like it's almost easier to blend because you have more control of how much product you apply. But I'm also not mad at this eye. I don't feel like this eye has been bad so far in any means. Now I'm gonna go with the darker brown. I feel like my eyes look pretty similar, right? What do you guys think? They look pretty similar so far? I'm gonna cut my crease with some concealer and then I'll be back so we can apply the lid shade. I got a little bit distracted. My Chipotle just got here and I had to eat real quick. By the way, I'm still doing keto and there is a keto Chipotle bowl. Let me know, I can let you guys know what it is, but if you Google it, you can literally look at what you can order that's keto friendly from Chipotle because I love Chipotle. The only thing I can't have that I like really love from there is the chips. That part definitely sucks. So I'm gonna take the shade Classified, which is this gold one right here. I'm gonna wet my brush with Fix Plus for both of them and I will wash my brush in between. All right, so starting with the older formula, or the original I should say. This color swatched so nice on my hand, but I feel like it's not showing up as pigmented on my eye. And sometimes colors like this do work better with your fingertips. All right, so I'm gonna clean my brush. Even though I cleaned it, I'm still gonna use the other side anyways, just in case. All right, so this is the updated formula. It's a little bit hard to work with on a brush, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm trying to get a lot of product, but it's a little bit chunky. This is like a foiled pressed into a pan, so I really think it would work better with fingertips. I'm gonna try it with my finger and just see, because when I put it on my finger, it's really pigmented. It's just hard to get precise with your finger, because I feel like that makes it go on way more foiled, because the heat of your finger is melting the product. Okay, I'm going to also take my finger on the other side, just to be fair, and go over the center of the lid. Yeah, it definitely works better with my finger. All right, I'm just gonna clean up the edges with the brush. I do feel like this one looks a lot more pigmented, and I used my finger on both of them. I did my wing liner off camera and my waterline, so now we're gonna start smoking out the lower lash line. So taking the first palette, I'm gonna go in with Prowl and also use some of Smooth Criminal, so it's the two browns in the Armed and Glamorous palette. I'm also gonna take Temptress, which is a black. It looks like there's a little bit of shimmer in it. There is a little bit of shimmer, but it didn't really translate when I swatched it. I'm gonna take that and put it right up next to the lash line with an angled brush. Also gonna go over my eyeliner. All right, so brushes are clean. I'm going back to Prowl in the new formula. Again, I'm noticing that the newer ones are easier to blend because they don't have as much pigment when you first place the product, which might sound weird, but when you're placing a product, if there's so much pigment in matte shades, it makes it so hard to blend because where you put it, it's like stuck. Where this just seems so much easier to blend than the older formula. Now I'm taking the lighter brown, and now I'm gonna take the black color. All right, so I'm gonna do my lashes, lip color, mascara, and then I'll be back with the final look. It's time for the moment of truth. What do we think? How do we feel? I mean, honestly, I feel like they both look pretty good, but this eye does look a little bit better to me. Like towards the tail of the brow, you can see how the transition isn't as blended on this side. And this side looks pretty seamless. I also feel like the colors appeared richer on this side. Like the lid color is very pigmented, very vibrant, where this lid color is a little bit less pigmented. Like it's still there, but this one looks way more foiled than this side. Like I can see a huge difference in the two eye looks. Now when I was applying the makeup, I could feel the difference. When I was using the new mattes, they just blended so much easier. Like I kept going in for product, which means it was buildable. Whereas on the older one, it was like I would place it and it was so much product and then it was harder to blend out. And then on the lid color, as you could see, like this lid color was such a struggle to get on. Like I kept adding Fix Plus, I kept adding it on, and I used my finger at the end on both. I definitely feel like that gold shade applied so so much better with the warmth of your skin because it melted the product. It's like a foiled crushed shadow. I feel like it works so much better with my finger, but I feel like this eye overall just looks so much better. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Do you think there is a big difference? Yes, no? Let me know in the comments if you think there is. When it comes to swatches, I was honestly nervous to film this because I was like, am I gonna be able to tell a big difference? Like, I had never tried either formula. So whenever I swatched the old versus the new, you could see on camera there was a huge difference. The old mattes, especially the matte formula, was so much patchier. Like, you could see the difference, I could feel the difference. Whenever I swatched the new mattes, it was so much easier, so much creamier to apply, and the pigment was so much more even. Now, I'm a believer that products can apply way better than swatch. Like, sometimes products, especially shimmery colors, they won't swatch the way that they apply. You have to try them on the eye, but I still feel like once I applied them on the eyes, the newer one was still better. So to me, it's clear there is a difference in formula. Now, how much difference, I don't know, but just from applying them, there was so much of a difference in the new versus the old. What I wanna know is, are you gonna buy it? I feel like we all went crazy over the first collaboration, and these colors are really beautiful. I think it's a really cool idea because if you don't want all the colors, you can just buy them as singles, or you can buy them in a collection. It's really up to you, but I think that they're really pretty, and I'm really glad that they reformulated them. So let me know in the comments if you're going to pick it up. I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit subscribe down below, join my A-team, and also make sure those post notifications are turned on so you never miss a new video. Alright, you guys, today's A-team shout out goes to Brianna Casey. She said, I just got way too excited when the notification for this video came across my phone. I liked the video before I even watched it. Hashtag A-team, hashtag notification squad. Girl, that is some true love. By the time you're watching this, I'll be on my way to Europe. I'm going to France and Spain. I'm super excited. I'm gonna try to vlog, but we'll see how it goes. I'll be real. We're gonna see how it goes. I will have another brand new video up on Monday, and then after that, I won't have any more videos until I'm back. I get back around the 13th, I think, 14th, something like that. I'll be Insta storying, Instagram, Snapchat. You can follow me on there. I love you guys so much. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.